Coming up on Fulton today, county commissioners tackle the 2015 budget. We'll tell you how your tax dollars will be spent. And we'll take a look at what's behind the influx of Fortune 500 companies coming to the county. Fulton Today is next. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. Fulton's new board addresses the 2015 budget. It is leaner than in years past, but it still maintains the county's core services. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega has our story.
Shania, the Fulton County Commissioners voted unanimously on the 2015 budget. That's something officials say hasn't happened in years.
I would like to move that we adopt this general fund budget alternative scenario.
The motion to approve the budget came early in the Board of Commissioners meeting, and immediately it was clear that there would be a consensus on the amended budget.
It is refreshing to have an approach to this budget that respects and recognizes all of the people of this county, irrespective of their income or what their zip code is.
Most importantly, it does give us a revenue neutral budget and does much improve our fund balance over time. So those two things are very, very positive.
When all of the discussion and compromise concluded, the board felt comfortable with what it had done. Funding was allocated for library hours to be restored, for fresh grants back to 2013 levels, and for senior services including meals, staffing, and new furniture, just to name a few.
I want to thank the finance team. We also want to thank all the citizens who came out and offered public comment over the past month and a half or so. And I also want to thank the commissioners who were part of this process.
The total general fund budget is $628,691,032, leaving a fund balance of over $109 million.
You know, there's been a good spirit of collaboration. Certainly we all come with different perspectives and different ideas and so forth, and the process of going through a budget is can be very challenging, but we had a great discussion today, and I'm very encouraged by the fact that we were able to collect a variety of viewpoints there and come up with, I think, a working document for us, a budget from a financial perspective that will really be a positive thing for the county.
Shania, following the budget vote, the board also passed a resolution to double the General Reserve Fund minimum to 16.66%. Now, the over $109 million fund balance this year is the equivalent of 17.46%. Now, if you want to see the entire budget, go to the county's website at fultoncountyga.gov. Reporting in Assembly Hall, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Well, Fulton County is apparently the place to be for redevelopment and business relocation. One example is the redevelopment of Turner Field. The Atlanta Braves are building a new stadium in Cobb County, and the future of Turner Field and the surrounding community are being looked at. In January, the Board of Commissioners unanimously passed a resolution to be included in future development of that area.
The county has an ownership interest in that land. It has a 1/3 interest along with the city of Atlanta in that land. And so the Board of Commissioners has decided that we should participate along with the community, with the Atlanta Fulton County Recreation Authority in determining what the future use of that land will be.
The county is also pulling in another luxury automaker to the area. Last year, Porsche opened its headquarters near Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Well, Mercedes-Benz just announced it will relocate its headquarters to North Fulton in Sandy Springs.
When you look at the logistics, very few places on the East Coast, in the nation, actually on the globe, that has the logistics infrastructure that we have. Not only do you have a major metropolitan area in the city of Atlanta, the metro region, you have one of the largest, one of the highest traveled airports in the country in Hartsfield-Jackson, both for passengers and for freight. We are just a couple hours away from the Port of Savannah.
Mercedes cites Atlanta schools' cultural and recreational opportunities as other reasons for its decision to move. Volunteers hit the streets of Metro Atlanta to conduct a sobering task to count the homeless, those who have shelter and those who do not. Here to talk to us about the annual count is Gary Richardson. He is a program manager with the Human Services Department. Sir, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Shani.
Well, first of all, the face of homelessness has changed since the county started participating in these census counts. Tell us a little bit about what's been the difference.
Sure. I've participated in the counts since the beginning. I've been with the county 18 years now,
Wow.
so for 18 counts, I participated. Usually we would see homeless men on the streets, your typical man with a bag of sleeping, bags of sleeping attire, what have you. Now we see more families,
Wow.
women with children, and as a matter of fact, intact families as well. Whole families on the street, sometimes in their cars, what have you.
And we're talking about this count is including what I understand is called sheltered and unsheltered. Explain that to us.
The sheltered number would actually include those who are in an emergency shelter or transitional housing facility. So the count counts those individuals and families as well as those who are actually street homeless,
Right.
residing on the street, are in their cars.
Right. And speaking of the count, what have we noticed with it over the years?
Just the increase in the types of homelessness. And what I mean by types of homelessness, we've gone from single individuals to seeing more holistic, whole families, intact families, or women with children who are actually living on the street or in emergency shelters and transitional housing programs. So the emphasis was, the significance was at one point just men, but now you're seeing
Whole families.
Whole families.
And so once we get these statistics, so what are we going to do with that information?
Well, it helps us to bring in dollars to the county to actually address the issue of homelessness. And so the numbers are compiled. It goes to DCA, it goes to HUD. DCA is the Department of Community Affairs for the state of Georgia. It goes to HUD, and this is how money is dispersed into the continuum.
And finally, sir, we've had some modifications in some of our programs for the homeless. What is out there now? What's available now in terms of services?
Sure, there's still emergency shelter. The county has moved away somewhat from the emergency shelter. We still offer our transitional housing program, but the county still partners with nonprofits through the Human Services grants, agencies who provide services to the homeless.
Gary Richardson, Human Services Program Manager, thank you so much for all that you and your entire team does for the county. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Shania.
Now, to get a look at some of the homeless statistics from past years, you can visit the census website. Fulton seniors get a refresher course on driver safety. AARP sponsored a defensive driving class at the Bowden Multipurpose Facility. The program helps seniors assess their road readiness ability.
The purpose of the class is to renew, to refresh senior citizens' driving skills throughout the years. So sometimes cognitive skills change, physical ability change. These things that that we have, our vision change, our hearing change, and it's just a refresher course to remind us that we need to stay abreast on certain things to keep our bodies healthy, and how do we continue to drive and be independent.
And hearing can delay response time during driving and impair a driver's judgment. Officials recommend using other means of transportation if these factors are issues.
Taking the other means of transportation is cheaper than paying a car payment, car insurance, tags, maintenance of upkeep your car, oil changes, and the money that you're using for that, you can use it to have fun.
The driving class addresses skills to help keep seniors safe in the driver's seat. Drivers could also get a break on their insurance rates by participating in an AARP driving course. And still to come, a look at how the new commissioners spent their first month on the job. It's a part of our district by district coverage next. Fulton's new commissioners get settled in their new roles, and the task force dedicated to a White House initiative gets down to business. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with the first official meeting of the minds for members of Fulton's My Brother's Keepers Task Force. Assembled by the Fulton County Chairman, the group's mission is to give young men an opportunity to improve their lives. Staff from Fulton's Children and Youth Office helps with the program that also includes other civic, school, government, and church leaders.
Thank you so much to the 30-plus stakeholders who are present at today's meeting, bringing their perspectives in terms of addressing this very critical issue in Fulton County. President Barack Obama, several months ago, asked local governments to embrace a My Brother's Keeper initiative. Fulton County raised its hand, said we were willing because of some of the disparities that exist right here in our county.
More than 100 governments across the country have accepted the White House's challenge to assist young men to become socially and emotionally stable through the My Brother's Keepers initiative. District 3 Commissioner Lee Morris gets comfortable in his new office in the Fulton County Government Center. The newly elected representative has been meeting with staff to get an overview of the policies and practices of the county. Commissioner Morris represents the southern part of Sandy Springs, Buckhead, and parts of Midtown. He says he is pleased to serve in this time of change for Fulton County.
Well, my focus is going to be to try to get to understand better the operations of some of the major departments, so I can try to make some recommendations and decisions and suggestions about where we might make some changes.
Commissioner Morris is no stranger to public service. He served many years as a council member in the city of Atlanta. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. is also getting the lay of the land in his new position. The first-time elected official jumped right into the business of the county by setting up 4 office locations. In addition to his downtown workplace, he also has bureaus on Fulton Industrial Boulevard, the South Service Center, and Oak Hill.
My personal issues, at least the issues that I think will be most important in my district, are the creation, whether there should be a new city of South Fulton, and then also the Turner Field redevelopment and the Braves leaving Turner Field.
Commissioner Arrington represents largely unincorporated Fulton County, East Point, East Atlanta, and small parts of Union City and College Park. District 6 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell leads the remembrance of a Fulton County civil rights icon. The commissioner initiated a resolution honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during a recent board meeting.
Whereas Dr. King wished to be remembered not for who he was, but for the fact that he passionately and consistently beat the justice drum, rang the bell of peace, and pled that his opponents would eschew evil in exchange for righteousness.
Dr. King began many of his groundbreaking work right here in the Atlanta-Fulton County area. Fulton County government recognizes his birthday as an official county holiday. It became an official federal holiday in 1986. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with a rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And still to come, time is running out to enroll in the 2015 Affordable Care Act. We'll have that story. Stay with us. Well, the clock is ticking to enroll in the 2015 Affordable Care Act, and this year the fines are going up for not getting the health coverage. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn explains.
Enrolling for insurance through the healthcare marketplace doesn't have to be confusing.
When you do work with someone in person, we find that you're twice as likely to be successfully enrolled than trying to do it on the telephone or on the computer yourself.
Fulton County libraries like the Fairburn branch are teaming up with Get Covered America to provide one-on-one assistance for those who come in to sign up for affordable health insurance.
There's a lot of information out there for everyone. You can log on, get online, look up, go to different meetings, and it's quick, it's easy to sign up for, and it's something that I'm glad that I stopped and learned more about.
Those who qualify will get an insurance plan with savings based on income. All plans cover pre-existing conditions and preventive care. The deadline to sign up for coverage for 2015 is February 15th. and those who miss that deadline may face a penalty.
And there's a mandate in there that if you are eligible for the program and you're not at least trying to find out whether or not you are eligible, you could be subject to a penalty, a financial penalty. And this year that goes up to $325 or 2% of your income.
For information on enrolling, go to healthcare.gov. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Meanwhile, health officials report that awareness, prevention, and testing have all helped to drop the rates of sexually transmitted diseases. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, chlamydia and gonorrhea rates dropped in 2013. The CDC says that's the first decrease in 30 years for chlamydia, which is the nation's most common STD. County health and wellness leaders say Fulton's rates declined as well.
Looking at Georgia alone, we have a decrease of 6% of chlamydia cases and a 10% of gonorrhea cases. And when we look at Fulton County for chlamydia, we have a decrease of 6% in Fulton County of chlamydia cases and a 15% of gonorrhea cases in Fulton County.
Health leaders recommend regular STD testing and safe sex practices to reduce transmission.
Looking at 2014, we actually screened over 18,000 clients for chlamydia and gonorrhea last year.
You can get more information by calling the county's health department at 404-612-1211. Well, this year, Fulton's Wellness Committee is focusing on changing the health habits of the workforce. An Eat to Live campaign is underway, and events are taking place at county facilities each month this year. The latest session at the Oak Hill Family and Adolescent Center focused on incorporating fruit smoothies into your diet.
People have a lot of lose weight, be healthier resolutions, and that's why we wanted to start off with the smoothies as a simple, easy way just to add nutrition to your diet. So we don't want to take away people's foods that they love. We just want to show them different ways to add extra fruits and vegetables and different types of protein into their diet.
The session also explained that eating organic popcorn is better than traditional popcorn because organic popcorn doesn't have genetically modified corn. Now, these sessions are part of the county's Healthy Workforce Initiative, which puts an emphasis on employee health so that less money is spent on health care and more spent on county services. And up next, the word is impressive. We'll take you to a local spelling bee when we come back. And again this year, Super Bowl predictions take center stage for county seniors. Members of the Dardanelle Senior Multipurpose Facility held their annual Super Bowl Talks event. In fun and at times heated conversation, the sports aficionados debated who they think will win the Super Bowl 49, Seattle or New England.
Tom Brady's a better quarterback, I think. You know what I'm saying? I've been looking at him for a long time.
I'm going with Seattle. I think they got the better team. Offensively, Seattle can hang right there with New England.
The football talk started during the preseason when the sports-savvy seniors made predictions on how the professional football season would end up.
We had 4 people that came up with Seattle, so we'll see if Seattle wins. Nobody picked New England. They picked Seattle and Denver.
The predictions were written down and kept all season long so everybody can see who was the closest to picking the winning team. And finally, it's the Super Bowl of spelling bees at one Fulton County school, and FGTV got in on the action.
Grandeur.
Grandeur. G-R-A-N-D-E-U-R.
That is correct.
Renaissance Middle School invited our team to come and take part in this year's school spelling bee. 45 students from the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades battled it out with tough words like ingratiate, ukulele, and loquacious. The winning word for this year's bee was
Marsupial.
Marsupial. M-A-R-S-U-P-I-A-L.
You were correct!
Well, I got second place last year, and I wanted to get first place this year and make my mark on this school.
I think she's going to be very vigilant. She's going to have a lot of endurance, and she's going to study and be very determined to win this competition.
The Renaissance Middle School contestants in Fairburn all won the Spelling Bee contest in their homerooms. The school awarded the first, second, and third place overall winners. The school champ now goes on to the Fulton County Bee later in the school year. And we really had a blast. Thank you so much for the invitation. Well, before we go, we want to remind you that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out on Twitter and Facebook, and watch us anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.